Okay, we're looking at comparing fractions, and I'm going to teach you a really easy way to do this if you don't know it already. I know some of your teachers in the past taught it to you, and some teachers like it and some don't. I love it because you're going to get it right every single time. I'm going to teach you why it works also. The way you do this is just cross multiply, start at the bottom. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 belongs to this fraction over here. And then 8 times 16, 2 is 16. 16 belongs to that fraction. And then just compare those two cross products. 16 is less than 20. So then 2/5 is less than 4/8. See how quick and easy that works? And if you're doing your multiplication correctly, you're going to get that right every time. I'm going to show you why that works real quick. If you have 2/5 that you are comparing to 4/8, one way that you can compare them is to get a common denominator. This means 2 out of 5, and this is 4 out of 8. It's kind of hard to compare, but let's get a common denominator by multiplying 5 and 8. What is 5 times 8? It's 40. 40 is a multiple of both those numbers. So instead of having two different denominators, I'm going to have a common denominator. Now, 8 times 40, 8 times what is 40? 8 times 5 is 40. So remember yesterday we were keeping the denominator and numerator balanced by multiplying by the same number? You're going to do that here too. 4 times 5 is 20. So we found an equivalent fraction. And then let's do the top fraction. 5 times what is 40? 5 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, 16. 16 right there. Okay? And there's one cross product. Is 16. And there's the other cross product, 20. And those, that 20 came from this 4 times 5. And we use that 5 because it's the denominator from this number. And when we took 2 times 8, that 8 is coming from this 8 down here in the bottom fraction. So, there's a reason. This isn't just a magic trick why that works. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can delete this stuff. Alright, so I'm going to work through these pretty quick. If you want to just turn me off and work it on your own, you can. But please go back and check your answers with mine just to make sure. Okay, we're also reviewing less than, greater than. Okay, the symbols. Less than actually looks like a squished L. Less. And then greater than, you can make the greater than symbol on the G. Greater. You always read these like a sentence from left to right. So this cross product was 20. This one was 16. 16 is less than 20, so 2/5 is less than 4/8. 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 is less than 25, so 3/5 is less than 5/7. Okay, 11 times 6 is 66. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 is less than 66, so 7/11 is less than 6/8. Alright, 11 times 5 is 55. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 is less than 55, so 2/11 is less than 5/9. Okay, 2 times 9 is 18. 11 times 1 is 11. 11 is less than 18. So 1/2 is less than 9/11. Okay, is it just me or is it weird that all of these are less than so far? Hope that changes. Okay. 9 times 3 is 27. 5 times 6 is 30. Oh, here we go. 30 is greater than 27, so 6/9 is greater than 3/5. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is greater than 24, so 5/8 is greater. Okay, 2 times 7 is 14. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 is less than 14, so 1/2 is less than 7/10. 3 times 10 is 30. 11 times 2 is 22. 22 is less than 30, so 2/3 is less than 10/11. 9 times 5 is 45. 12 times 7 is 84. 84 is greater than 45, so 7/9 is greater than 5/12. Okay, I'm going to work through these silently.
Pretty tough to run an offense at warp speed in this ballpark. Play clock at 4. Handoff goes to Starks, and he takes it out to the 44-yard line. So the backup back, we've got Lacey, of course, is number 1, but Starks can do the job. Found out about that in the Super Bowl a few years ago. And DeJuan Harris is number 3. And he had a great year last year, 5.5 yards per carry.
I totally forgot the game is playing in the background, so I'm not watching it. But I would be if I wasn't doing a bunch of math. This is why we do our work at school, so that when we're at home we can watch football.
Aaron Rodgers, he's about as good as it gets right now. I mean, we've lived in this whole Brady and Peyton Manning era, and they're still great, but he came along a little bit later, but he's right up there with them.
Whoops.
There's no question about it, and his mobility separates him a little bit. He can throw as well moving left or right or in the pocket, and he's such a dynamic playmaker, has been for a long time.
Here's one that's a little more difficult because you have 3 fractions to put in order. And you can go ahead and do this method to help you. That's 12 and that's 10. So we know that 2/3 is less than 4/5. But then we also have to compare this 1/2. Which one are you going to compare it to? Well, let's compare it to the 2/3 again. 2/3 to 1/2. So that's 3 and that's 4. And this can get a little confusing because 2/3 was less than 4/5, but then it's greater than 1/2. Okay, you got to keep your notes straight on this. So we're saying that 2/3 was greater than 4/5, but less than, no wait, it was less than 4/5, but greater than 1/2. So I'm doing it completely backwards here. I need to go from least to greatest. Okay, so after I compared it, I found that 1/2 was less than 2/3, and 2/3 was less than 4/5. That's what these symbols here are saying. When you read it in order, 1/2 is less than 2/3, and that is less than 4/5. And then when you're done, you can just double check. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3, so that's good. And then 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10, and that's good. All right, let's look at number, let's just do the left side of these because these are going to take some time. I'm just going to move it up. 6 times 1 is 6, and 3 times 5 is 15. So far, 1/3 is the smallest one. Okay, now let's compare 1/3 and 5/9. I'm going to change colors here. 3 times 5 is 15, and 9 times 1 is 9. So 1/3 was less than 5/6, and 1/3 is less than 5/9. So I know that it's the smallest one. And then I'm going to need to compare. You can't use the same information. You need to redo it for the other two that you haven't done yet. 5/6 and 5/9. 6 times 5 is 30. And 9 times 5 is 45. So 5/9 is the smaller one. And then the biggest one is 5/6. And then when you're done, you can just compare them once they're in order. 3 times 5 is 15. 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, 1/3 is less than 5/9. And then 9 times 5 is 45. 6 times 5 is 30. And 30 is less than 45, so 5/9 is less than 5/6. Make sure you're listening very carefully to these explanations. Okay, I'm going to compare the next one, 3/10 to 1/2. So when I cross multiply, that's 10, that's 6. So I know that 3/10 is smaller than 1/2. And now I'm going to compare 3/10 to 3/5 and see which one is smaller out of those. 10 times 3 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. So 3/10 was the smallest when I compared 3/10 to 1/2 and to 3/5. So 3/10 will be the smallest here. 3/10 is less than. Okay, now let's figure out how 1/2 and 3/5 compare. Let's see which one is smaller. 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 1 is 5. 5 is less than 6, so 1/2 is less than 3/5. They gave us that one in order. How nice of them. Okay, moving on to number 7. Okay, for some reason those numbers are not moving. Hold on, let me see if I can clean it up. Okay. Let's see. 15 times 13. I'm going to pause it and do the math. Okay, so when I cross multiplied, 13/20 was less than 11/15. Okay, and so I'm going to compare that one. Hopefully 13/20 is less than 7/10. I don't know. I'm going to try it out. See which one is smaller here. 20 times 7 is 140. And 10 times 13 is 130. Okay, so 130 is less than 140. That means 13/20 is less than 7/10. Now we need to compare 13/20. 13/20. Okay, now we need to compare 11/15 and 7/10. So that's going to be 105. And that's going to be 110. So 7/10 is less than 11/15. Okay, down here at the next one, 9 times 1 is 9. 7 times 2 is 14. So 1/2 is the smaller one. Now I'm going to compare 1/2 to 3/5. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 is less than 6, so 1/2 is less than 3/5. Okay, and then now I need to compare 7/9 and 3/5. You can't use these numbers up here because we have completely different denominators that we're multiplying together. 7/9 and 3/5. 9 times 3 is 27. 5 times 7 is 35. 3/5 is less than 7/9. Okay, last one I'm going to help you with, and if you want to do the other side on your own, you are welcome to. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 4/3 is less than 3/2. Now I'm going to multiply 3 times 10 is 30. And 11 times 4 is 44. So 10/11 is less than 4/3. So it goes 10 11ths, and then 4/3 was less than 3 halves.